This is Chris, Tire Side Chat, Thursday edition. Well, today I ran into a brick wall trying to help a customer. To just give you a little background, last Friday I'd gone to the customer's house. The customer's concern was that this particular laptop would not connect to the internet. So I went over to their house, and sure enough, there was no internet access available on that laptop. However, it did connect to the router, which usually is a pretty good sign. And also her other devices, her mobile phone and her other laptop and some other desktop that was in some other part of the house. I didn't even really go look at it because, what's the point? We're all connecting to the internet wirelessly, and so I thought, well, heck, it can't be the router because all these other devices are connecting to the internet. And so I looked at it for a few minutes, and sure enough, I could not, tried the WPS switch on the router, tried to enter the key manually, the network key that is, and nothing worked. And so I thought, well, there's only so many things that can be wrong, right? So one thing I did notice upon my initial inspection of the laptop was that she was running Windows 10 on a laptop that was designed to run Windows 7. Usually that's not a huge issue, but given the sorry state of Windows 10 drivers, device drivers that is, it kind of made me think for a minute, and so I asked her if she would like to have Windows 7 loaded on this laptop. It was a gift from her father, and so it wasn't like, she had any kind of data on that computer at all. It was just given to her that way. And so I thought, well, maybe I can take the easy way out and just do a reload and everything will just turn out fine. Well, she is going to the community college here locally, and of course they insist that everyone use Windows 10. Not that it's like an absolute requirement, but if you're sitting there in class and what's up on the screen is a Windows 10 desktop, and they're showing how to do things on a Windows 10 desktop, then it kind of makes it easier if you have a Windows 10 desktop that you're working on your own computer. And so the Windows 7 reinstallation route was cut down quite quickly. And so I took the laptop with me, intending to work on it this past Monday. Unfortunately, my son had a gallbladder attack. Well, I don't know exactly what it was. Anyway, a gallstone got stuck in some place it wasn't supposed to get stuck in, and he had to have his gallbladder out. And so I took this customer's computer down to his house to work on while I was watching his incredibly cute and, yes, just incredibly cute grandchildren. I love them. Yes, I do. Hi, Wyatt. Hi, Ethan. Yeah. It was a good day. So in between, in entertaining and being entertained by the grandchildren, I looked at this laptop, and lo and behold, I found that after a BIOS reset, the laptop connected to his router just fine, and I was able to do anything I wanted, browse the internet, did all the Windows updates, and installed a couple cleanup programs, the usual cleanup routine that I do. Didn't have any problems at all. I thought, well, hey, I've got it. If it's going to be this easy, hey, let's just go ahead and get it done. Let's leave this machine better than we found it. And so I did that. I was feeling very confident until I went back over to the customer's house today to deliver the laptop, and I went to hook it up to her internet, and it would not get internet access. And I was like, you've got to be kidding me. What is going on here? her other devices still all connected to that router and got internet access. This laptop would connect to the router wirelessly, but could not get internet access through that router. Through a Ethernet cable, it got internet access like that. I'm like, what in the world is going on? So, well, I guess, to just make a long story short, I never could get it. I couldn't get it to connect. I mean, to the internet. I have no idea why. It's like there is no rational reason why that laptop shouldn't be getting internet access right now. She has CenturyLink internet service. She has 3 other devices in the house that are connected through that router, that very same router, and they get internet access. If she takes the laptop anywhere else and connects it on anyone else's router, it gets internet access. But at her house, with that device on her router, it doesn't work. And I really am completely befuddled. I ran through every troubleshooting step that I know to run through, and even a couple that I had to look up on the internet just to see. And no, I couldn't. I am totally perplexed. And so I really hated to do it, but I finally said, troubleshooting 101. Do other devices connect to it? Yes. Does this device connect somewhere else? Yes. Right there, that's a conundrum. Hey, let's look at the drivers for the wireless card. Maybe that's the problem. Well, unfortunately, there are some Windows 7 drivers available from Dell. They don't work under Windows 10. Well, I tried a bunch of stuff. The final thing, of course, is to try to reset the router. Go to the little reset button on the back, press it in, let the router reset back to all of its default values. I thought, you know what, this will take care of it. Nope. Everything else still hooks up. This laptop doesn't. And so I really am at a loss to explain it, but, after spending 2 hours trying to figure it out, I finally just had to throw up the white flag and say, I just don't know. And my feeling is that it's just one of those things. It's just, the router might be flaky just a little bit, but I think most of the blame lies with the wireless drivers, the wireless card drivers for the laptop. A router that CenturyLink supplies is a little bit old. It could be that if it was updated, if the firmware was updated, it might work. But you know what? After it, the thing is, you don't have like a few weeks to figure it out, or a few days, or even a few hours. I mean, you just can't. You can't spend that time, trying to figure out something like that, because there's the law of diminishing returns. In other words, a customer's only willing to pay so much for so much. And so I left her with the advice to call CenturyLink and have them send her another router. And that may or may not work. I'm going to call her back, in a week or two and see, how it came out. But, I hate to fail. I hate to let customers down. But, it's just, that's the way it was today. It was just an incredibly frustrating experience, because it didn't make sense. It just didn't make sense at all. But I guess that's just the way it was today. So I guess the whole point of this video is just to say that, sometimes things happen and you just don't know why they happen, or why they don't happen in this case, and you just can't really explain it. And you just got to move on, I guess. I don't know. feel bad for the customer. I really, I hate to fail. Don't mind admitting when I've failed, but I really do. I really hate that. I mean, yeah. But at least in my own conscience, I am satisfied that I did everything I knew how to do. And I don't know if anyone else would know anymore. I mean, it's not like it's a terribly technical thing to hook up a device to a router. It's not like I was plumbing the depths of my knowledge to try to figure this out. I mean, it's like there are certain things you do, and none of it worked, and so I have to think that it's either a software issue with the laptop or a hardware, some kind of subtle hardware issue with the modem, or some kind of conflict between this particular laptop and that particular router, and that's all I can think. Because it never did work with the router. If she'd gotten it and it had worked for a little while and then quit, then I would really be upset with myself. But no, it never did. So that makes me feel a little bit better anyway. So anyway, this has been kind of a long one, but yay, I think some things deserve an extended explanation, and so anyway, it is getting to be late afternoon. It's very hot still, but not terribly humid, which I like, here in Oxford, North Carolina. If you like my videos, please like and subscribe. I really appreciate when you do that. If you have any comments or questions, fire away. I'm not afraid to admit when I don't know the answer. Okay? Until the next one, we'll see you later.